And it's Ken Kreitzer for CBSI Services in New York City today at the National Merchants Day. We had a great program. Main Street Matters. One of the speakers today was Bob Phibbs, who is a retail doctor, advises retail stores on how to engage better with their customers. Bob, great day, great presentation. What's it been like for you so far?
Well, it's great. It's always nice to be working with small business owners, all trying to find a way to make it all work, man. That's it.
And you had some great points, 5 or 6 major points for helping salespeople better engage with customers and prospects when they walk in the door. Why is that so important? What are some of the keys?
Well, we decided we're going to trust right off the bat, right? So if you had a knock on the door and you open the door and the person had their arms like this, you wouldn't go in, right? Well, a lot of times we blow the sale because at the very beginning we are seen as unfriendly, and frankly, if we don't trust you, it takes too much to earn money these days, so we're going to keep our wallet in our pocket. Even if we walk around the store or we call you up, we're probably not going to go as far as we would if you'd just been nice to us at the beginning.
And one of your opening points was something I see all the time, that you convince and make an impression on new customers by reaching their heart, and then later you reach their head. And I see that in so many businesses, that you have to show that you care, and you certainly described how important that was to the audience today.
Well, I think the important takeaway is certainly an entrepreneur or a single owner can have passion for something. The problem is when you hire employees, you don't train them, because they're going to bring all the bad habits they've ever heard at a retail store. Hi, can I help you? Do you have a budget? How are you today? All that garbage you shouldn't say, they're bringing it right to you, so to your business. So the problem is your business isn't really defined, and you're teaching it. You're being defined by the people you've hired, and that's never good.
Okay, and you said another great point that you had is that customers remember the individuals that served them when they went into a restaurant or a store, those who helped them, and they remember the store, the business, by that individual. I find that all the time. How do you build that kind of rapport by a salesperson for a customer?
Well, again, it takes training, so you've got to teach somebody, just like a movie. You know, a movie starts, we meet the character, then there's an obstacle, he meets the girl, she hates him, she wants to go somewhere he can't get there, then he has a little taste of success, then there's another problem and it ends happily. Well, a sale is no different. The way we talk to another person, I've got to first greet you, I've got to build trust with you, and then I've got to get your trust so that you'll be able to hear whatever that product is, and then I've got to get the sale. If you leave off the first 2 or 3 points of that, you're just like everybody else, and that's never good.
And Bob Phibbs, tell us a little bit about your career, how you got into this field of helping small businesses be better marketers.
Well, I think I put myself through college working retail, and then I grew a chain of Western wear stores to a national presence in the 80s, and then I worked with a coffee company, and we did a franchise for 135 locations. But it all comes down to how, as a small business, are we able to hold on to Main Street? How does it matter? Well, the only way it matters is if you do an exceptional experience. You can't just say buy local and treat people horribly. So if we take the idea that most people really do want to shop local, give them more of a reason by the way that you create an exceptional customer experience, that it all works. And I've been doing this for like 24 years, and I'm retaildoc.com, so I invite you to visit me more there.
Absolutely. I got to ask one more question. We work in financial services at CBSI with a lot of banking institutions, a lot of consumer banks. I've worked some time in retail when I worked in the brokerage business for companies. What are some of the ways in financial services that people that are on platforms, people that have the chance to meet customers face to face, can better build relationships?
Well, it's still the same idea. You've just got to stop whatever you're doing that's not customer focused. When they come in, you've got to give your attention to them, and then you've got to open your heart to them. And in this much time, there's not a lot to be able to say that. But at the end of the day, the devil is in the details. You know, what I talked about today here with First Data was you have to be brilliant on the basics if you want to compete. You can't just say it's the other guy's fault I'm not successful. Are you doing everything possible to succeed? And if you train that with your employees and you hold yourself to that, then you really can make a difference.
Bob Phibbs, a retail doctor, great to see you. Thank you for your comments, and great to meet you here at this event in New York City.
Great. Thanks so much.
Ken Kreitzer for CBSI Services at the Main Street Matters event, sponsored by our friends at First Data for CBSI.